Armored Knight. It's a pleasure. I'm Jan.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. It's good to meet you. You know, we're really grateful to have you in the community. I saw just to clarify, I'm happy just to chat. I wasn't sure if you want to do a development call, and we normally record those. So I'm like recording right now, and if you want me to stop, I can stop it. But
it's okay.
Okay. Awesome. I mean, I'm a huge fan from what I've seen of what you do, and out of character, in character, and out of character, I'm Jan. So I'm Jan Lucanus, a producer from Real World, our social filmmaking company. Out of character, in character, I play Jan, founder of Justice for Hire, and which essentially. I stopped. I was trying to pitch one app one day in the middle of a meeting. A crime happened, and I'm like, in character, and said, "Oh, you know what? We should probably just have a hero app instead, rather than a Tai Chi app." And so that's the premise of the story. It's Uber for heroes, and we're centralizing a worldwide network of heroes. And I've been super grateful to see so many real life superheroes actually respond to what we're doing so positively and actually join our cast. So 2 weeks ago. That's my phone telling me that I have a 10% battery. And I do want to do like a real solid development call with you. But I just wanted to say hi because just within 1 day, I've gotten so many messages about your photo. And like people love it. They love the outfit. They love the mask. And
I'll tell you, Jan, I put that all together from eBay and Wish.
And it seemed, and you were a Marine as well. Correct?
I wanted to be a Marine, but I goofed off in school and didn't get to. So I love the Marines.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a big proponent of our armed forces, and I've always deep gratitude for our armed forces. So I just spoke to a Marine earlier today and invited him to. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, so I'm like, hey, you got to come train with me. So So it's a pleasure, man. So what's going on with you? Like, please tell all of us about yourself and about what you're doing. Like I said, I would like to do a real spotlight of you as a real life superhero coming into the Justice for Hire community, and for you to share your story with the community and have them be able to ask questions. And we would promote that. We'll schedule it. So like let's do that separately. But just right now between us. What brought you to JFH, and where are you looking to go with your character and the whole experience?
Well, my persona is real. What this is a mixture of is the full armor of God from the Bible and Michael the Archangel. That's why I got that on there. Then on the back I have Christian biker, I ride with Jesus. I am a Christian. And what I am, me and my team, we are called the Omega Alliance Initiative Homeless Outreach Team here in West Virginia. And we go out and we take $100 of our money out of our own pockets, and we buy $100 worth of Little Caesars pizza and like bottles of Gatorade, like big coolers of Gatorade or water or Powerade for the homeless, and we hand them out to them. And we make care packages. Every real life superhero out there that does homeless outreach, we all make care packages. We're trying to get in our area of West Virginia, in Fremont area, and Morgantown and Clarksburg area. I live in Fairview, which is a very small town. But
my father's from White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia.
Oh, okay. Oh, they got some awesome houses up there, dude. Oh, wow. They're awesome. I've been watching on Zillow. I've been checking them out on Zillow. All the houses for sale. Wow. But anyways, what we do, we go out, we're not crime fighters. We're not vigilantes. We go out and feed the homeless. What we fight against is apathy and homelessness and hunger. In the Bible, we're supposed to do this because God commands us to. Because it says in the Bible, I don't know if any of you are Christians or not, but in the Bible it says, Jesus says, I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was hungry and you gave me food. I was sick and you came and visited me or comforted me. I was in jail and you came and visited me. When we do this to the least of these, we do it unto Lord Jesus. That's why we do this. We don't want pats on the back. We're not here to do that. The uniforms that we wear, the superhero uniforms we wear, it lets people know, the homeless people know, our brothers and sisters out on the streets, that there's someone that cares so much about them that is willing to do it, but don't want, anyone that goes out in our own, just, like regular clothes and without the mask and all that on, it would be, no one would ever remember that, even the homeless. But when we do it in the uniform like I have it now, they remember that. And we've got so much positive feedback that it is unbelievable. We've already been on the Channel 5 News here in West Virginia. Let's see, let me think. WDTV Channel 5 News. And we've been on that, and I got the video. I'll link it to you, and you'll see us in there, and everybody on the team. Well, the old team. I'm making a new one to get all new members, because the old members that was on there, some of them was into drugs and causing trouble and stuff like that. I got rid of that. I got rid of them. So I'm building the team back up where it's better than it was before.
So I got chills when you were saying what you were saying, because I grew up with service, with feeding the homeless since I was 4, and we would call it Seva. I grew up in a discipline that teaches all paths, including Christianity, and have a deep. Our CTO is Christian as well, and I do have a deep respect for the path and the discipline and the love that is manifested through the servants of the higher power. And so when you guys talk about this, when you're saying this and you're doing that service, and it's dedicated with those words that you spoke of, you came and you fed me, you came and visited me, like that to me is that's all that we're doing. That's what Justice for Hire is about. And so to have your energy, to have the fact that you already do that, and that you already bring, like that's true heroism to me. And it's not only such an honor to like I said, have you in the community, because of the vibration you bring, but to know that those are your actions and that's where your heart is. That's awesome. And we have some again, like, we're not a vigilante app, we're an entertainment show, but a lot of real life superheroes have come to us, and there's some really interesting initiatives that are happening nationwide. I'm sure you're aware of a bunch of them. But I'm in direct contact with a lot of these folks, and I'm happy to make introductions if you're just expanding the network, because there's some really, really lots of positive stuff happening. And I think that the people that are doing good need to know each other so that we can do more good together in a more organized fashion. So I just love it. And I'm wondering, So like what brought you to JFH, and how do you want to share your story through JFH?
Well, what got me interested is all your guys' videos, the different videos of heroism, like a purse snatcher. Then people, it's like everyone was linked. All you did is push a button on your phone and boom, we were all alerted at the same time in that area. I like that. That's what the real life superheroes is supposed to be all about. A lot of them, a lot of them went off the deep end, and a lot of them retired, which I understand because a friend of mine, he retired and he became a prison guard at one time, and the people that he put behind bars, that was who he was taking care of, and he was afraid that they would put two and two together of him being who he is out of uniform and him being who he is in uniform or was in uniform. That would make it real bad on his family. He didn't mind. He didn't matter. Didn't matter about him. We're just like Spider-Man. Spider-Man hid his identity because he didn't want his family and friends to be hurt by the villains that he was fighting against. That's why he had to just retire, because it would put his immediate family in danger. And for me, when I seen all of your guys' videos and stuff, I really like that. I'm like, I could do this. I could really do this and become, in my uniform. That'd be like something that just mind blowing to everyone.
Well, you've already started doing that a while ago, and just like I said, that one picture catalyzed a lot. And what I would say, just from a development side, and while I have power on my phone, I'd say that the more everything we do in Justice for Hire is canonical. As long as people are following the universe rules, we're all interconnected, and they'll stay interconnected. So we're going to be launching more missions a little bit. We haven't announced this yet, but I'll just tell you, because essentially the next mission that's coming out is a general patrol mission. I'm sure you're already used to that as a real life superhero. So that's what we shot tonight with a bunch of skaters. So we're skating around Hollywood patrolling, and I think it's really, really important to be able to show people a window into your world. Again, you can do it in character, you can create storyline, etc., or you can show a little bit more about what you're really going through. But I think that because of you are who you are, that there's going to be a more blurred line between, and it's all up to you to define it, of what you want your Armored Knight as a character to experience in the cinematic universe, and what you want to share with the cinematic universe from your real experience as Armored Knight.
Well, I'll tell you. Matter of fact, this is the 4th, since it's after 12. This is Saturday, matter of fact. But anyways, September 7th or September the 11th, 2001, why I became a real life superhero. I dressed up as the Punisher. I have the coat, I have the black jeans, boots, everything. I even carried real guns around with me when I did it. I walked around as Frank Castle, the Punisher, because at that time my 4 cousins were they were heroes. They're heroes. They lost their lives in Ground Zero. They were firefighters. They was New York firefighters, and all 4 of them. See, I am Hungarian, or half Hungarian. My dad's full Hungarian. My mom's Cherokee Indian. Well, anyways, my 4 cousins were 3 of them was junior firefighters, and Eric, which is the oldest, Okakowski, he was the full-fledged fireman, New York fireman. Well, when the towers came down, they were there that day. I didn't find this out until later on. Their mom and dad were both surgeons up there in New York City. I don't know where you're at right now. They were.
I was in New York on that day and watched it happen in person. And my mother has some damage from that as well, and lost some folks. And so, but my heart goes out to your family of heroes, because that's what they were doing when and yeah. So many blessings.
They were trying to get people out or whatever they were doing. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But they were they was Jewish, and their dad, Edward, he is Hungarian, and their mom is Jewish. And their mom and dad, they're both surgeons up there in the hospitals up there in New York. I don't know if the hospital's close to there or where they're located. I've never been to New York. I would love to go one day and visit Ground Zero to pay my respects to my 4 heroes. And that's why I took on the persona of the Punisher, because I didn't want nothing like that to happen to any of my family or friends or any American here in the United States. Because what the terrorists did, that was uncalled for. But, there for a while I was the Punisher and stuff, and being a Christian and stuff, it was like it was like the yin and yang. It was a battle. And I thought, well, I'm just going to give up on being the Punisher and go with my persona now as Armored Knight. And I'll tell you, the blessings. When I was the Punisher, I was breakdancing on Tosh.0 to the song Ice Ice Baby. And but anyways, I took on the persona here as Armored Knight, so I could do a lot better what God wanted me to do, not what I wanted to do. God has taken care of all my four cousins, my hero cousins, and everyone that died that day in the terrible awful day that happened. Now I have to take care of everyone that that really needs it, and that's the homeless out on the streets, because there's nobody. Apathy is like someone will be like, well, maybe someone else will do it, or someone will step up and do this. That never happens. That never happens in real life. So I took on the persona of the Armored Knight to do and to be that hero in their eyes, and to provide for them that I could when I could. And that's what me and my team, the Omega Alliance Initiative, Almost Outreach team, does.
So let me ask you a question here, because this is really, really powerful what you're saying. It sounds like the first reaction from that tragedy was a position of almost embodying vengeance, which is a lonely path. and
Yeah.
you recognize that loneliness and that hurt inside yourself, and said, I'm going to wash it with surrender. And you surrendered to essentially a greater good, the greater good, at which now your gear, your outfit symbolizes that surrender. And even down to the everyone knows the Punisher's garb, the skull like draped in darkness. And instead you said, hey, I'm going to surround myself with light and with the symbols of brightness and sincerity and clarity. And that's what I get from your outfit. And then you sharing this origin to me is so spot on for, I mean, it's amazing how spot on it is for how you walk around and the service that you provide and the team, because the loneliness of the Punisher versus the team that you've built and the team that you're growing now is pretty powerful.
Yeah. See, the Punisher, I don't know who all is listening, but the Punisher was all about death. We all know this. What God wants me to do is all about life. Providing life and not saving a life and not taking one.
That's beautiful. I don't know if you're into comic books at all, because of so I was just messaging with Tony and Isabella, who is was doing some work on Ghost Rider years ago, and I read. I grew up in Marvel. Out of character, grew up in Marvel. My father was his mentor was Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief of Marvel, and so I was reading on an argument that Tony had with, and I still need to find out what's true in this narrative, not, but it was reported on that Tony wanted to give Ghost Rider he said there are so many images of the devil and hell in Marvel, but there are no direct images of God. And he wanted to give the Ghost Rider a companion that was actually, he didn't outright call him Jesus, but he wanted to have somebody essentially symbolizing higher power that might look a little bit. He was supposed to be a homeless man, but offered that. So sorry if I got cut off, but essentially offered the higher wisdom. So I think it's really interesting. The way the story goes is that Jim, my dad's mentor, shot him down, and it's like, no, if we do that, we're going to cut off. We're going to essentially say that this religion is correct, and everybody else, and thereby, if this religion is correct, everybody else's is incorrect. And from a marketing plan, this is well before they got purchased by Disney, which is a very cautious company. But the concept of, hey, it's safer to not mention God, but it's okay to essentially sell people the concepts of hell and the devil. And I think that's a really, really interesting place to be in, from both a storytelling standpoint, a media standpoint, but also from a just culturally where that puts us, where it's okay to sell, to transmit, to distribute darker ideas that bring us down as a society. But it's not okay to say, hey, here is a path out of that. Here's a clear path that's been around for thousands of years. And there's a bunch of paths that's actually been around for thousands and thousands of years. It doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as you choose the one that connects you to that greater good, so that you actually do take the action to help your fellow humankind. And so I think it's really, really interesting that, like, just having read that story weeks ago and just messaged with Tony 2 days ago, and then you saying this, because you are a living representation of what Tony was saying. Like, hey, there are people that are going to gravitate toward this because we're not necessarily showing them another way. And you fortunately recognize that. You had your own inner compass help you recognize that, hey, you know what? There's got to be, I might be making the wrong choice. I might be putting myself in a box, in a lonely box, when I can actually expand and help people. And I think please.
It's like this, John. That is your name, John?
It's
My
Jan.
bad.
It's okay.
Jan. Sorry. My bad. Oh, okay. You're back. Okay. I thought I lost you.
I'm here, but I have 2%. So after this, let's make
Okay.
sure we connect a little bit more.
All right. What was I going to say? I forgot. The compass that's inside me is the Holy Spirit. And by the way, real quick, the 7th of this month will be 14 years since I've had a kidney transplant. And I'm still going strong.
That's
and
great.
I'm 53 years old.
Oh, awesome.
Hold on. Do I look 53?
You do not. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. God's keeping me young.
That's awesome. I was so honored to have you. So honored to have. So how about we set up a real time to do a real interview with you, and in the interim, if you could populate your profile in the JFH app a little bit more, maybe shoot a profile video, say I'm Armored Knight, essentially your name and why you're the hero to hire, just to let people know. Okay. And fill out some of your backstory, and that way, when people watch it, they can go there, they can ally you. Some of them will probably rival it too as well. But I think that it's such a wonderful blessing for the whole community to have you, and just so grateful for what you do. And on behalf of all those who may not be able to consciously say it, thank you for doing what you do, because we need you. Like, everyone needs you and what you're doing. So thank you so much. Really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. So let's schedule that, and let's make sure that within the next 2 weeks we do something like this.
Okay, no problem.
Awesome. And thank you so much, and have a great night.
All right, have a good one.
Talk soon. Many blessings.
All right.